Hello everyone, my name is Vakarasan and today we will solve a UPSC essay paper, and the topic is just because you have a choice, it does not mean that any of them has to be right. In this essay we will make a thesis statement and then we will also make some topic statements. So first of all I will brainstorm this essay for you people, and I will try to explain what does this statement actually mean. If you have a choice in life, it does not mean that any of them has to be right. We all come across various choices in our lifetime, but it does not mean that all the choices that we have in life they are right and they show us the right path to live our life in accordance with the ethical and moral standards. Choices they are good only if they are beneficial to all the people who live in our surroundings. But if we make choices that are harmful to others, those choices are not at all right choices. So we need to live a life where we have to choose for the betterment of the society. It does not imply that we ignore our personal benefits. It does not imply that we provide harm to our being. But yes, it does support the notion that our existence on this earth is for benefiting all the beings who live with us and who depend on us. Therefore, we need to make choices that are good, that are beneficial, and that are conducive for everyone who are linked to us. So, this essay invites so many arguments. You can discuss this essay at an individual level, you can discuss this essay at national level, and you can also make points in this essay keeping in mind the international scenario. The thesis of this essay will give a gist of the topic and will explain that how this statement it is true in its essence. So the thesis should be that during one's lifetime one encounters many choices, and it is up to a person to make such choices that are beneficial not only for a person but also for the humanity as well. But those choices that are beneficial to a person who makes a choice but harmful for all the other beings, such choices should not be made. So, choices they have an impact. Whatever I choose for myself, it will have an impact on my surroundings. So, I need to move with due diligence. I need to make my choices keeping in mind the ethical and moral standards of my society. I have to move according to or in accordance to a defined code of conduct. So choices should be made keeping in mind that we do not cross the defined limits. Choices should be made keeping in mind that we do not harm others. Choices should be made keeping in mind that our choices bring good for everyone. Similarly, at the national level, we can take it as a point where nations should make choices to benefit the entire world. A few nations in the world they make choices for their personal benefit. Such nations they have provided irreparable harm to the environment. A menace of climate change is one of the outcomes of making choices that provide benefit to only a few nations. But the consequences they are for everyone who reside who resides on this planet. So choices should be made not for the personal benefit, not for the national benefit, but for the benefit of the globe. If nations they had a choice in the past to go for fossil fuels for running their industries, and they made a choice to use fossil fuels to run industries. Their choices, the choices they made, they resulted into dire consequences for all of us. So, if they had a choice, it does not mean the choice that they had was in the best interest of humanity. Similarly, at international level, if a few nations have a choice to implement their desired world order, it does not imply that their choice is the right choice. It might hurt the nations that depend on them. It might hurt the well-being of the developing nations. It might hurt the interest of the developing nations. So, having a choice does not mean that the choice is right for everyone. So, if we have a choice, we need to make sure that our choice it must be in harmony not only with the interest of all the other beings or nations who reside on this planet, but also our choices they should be in accordance with the moral and ethical standards of the societies and of humanity as well. If I make a choice that is not in accordance with the ethical standards, such a choice will definitely bring a disaster. As a human being, we should live by following a definite code of conduct in order to maintain order and peace in society. If we defy code of conduct, if we defy the defined rules of society, then definitely our choice it brings negative consequences, not for ourselves, but also for everyone. Similarly, choices that are against our cultural code, such choices they should be avoided and they should be condemned by all means because such choices result in cultural infiltration and that brings death for any nation. Therefore, if we have a choice, we should make sure that that choice falls within the sphere of our cultural, moral, and ethical standards. Furthermore, such a choice should bring good for everyone. Moreover, we can also say that choices they determine destiny, as every action has a reaction. So, our acts they cause or they trigger a mechanism that invites a reaction. Whatever the consequences of climate change will be, they are the result of our choices. Our choices to go nuclear, they might bring a serious kind of disaster in the days to come. Our choice to allow inequality to prevail in the world might result in chaos and disorder. Our choices to allow a few nations to persecute weaker nations might end up in dire consequences for everyone who lives on this planet. Therefore, choices they have to be right. And a right choice it is beneficial to everyone. A right choice does not bring consequence for the people. A right choice does not bring negative consequences. A right choice only brings fruitful results. If we have a choice, we should first of all review it in order to make sure that our choice that we intend to make must not infringe the personal liberty of someone else. We should make sure that our choice must not hurt emotions and feelings of others. We should make sure that our choice must not deprive someone of one's rights. If we have a choice, we should make sure that our choice must not negate ethical standards or the moral standards of a society. If we make a choice, we should make sure that we should not hurt sentiments of others. If we have a choice, we should make sure that our choice must not bring any kind of harm in the environment. We should make sure that our choices they are for the best interest and well-being of humanity. Therefore, if we have a choice, it does not mean that any of them is right. So this essay is an open-ended essay, and we can write countless arguments on this. Now I will explain how to attempt this essay. First of all, you need to do brainstorming, and brainstorming will definitely help you to collect all the points that are required to complete this essay. So I have given a lot of points to explain this essay from various perspectives. So you can consider it brainstorming, and definitely these points are sufficient to attempt this essay. Now we will decide the structure of this essay. In this essay, we will go for introduction, then we will explain or define what does it mean by having a choice. and then we will make body paragraphs to prove this statement. And at the end, we will conclude this. So the structure should be like, uh, make an introduction, and in introduction you should start with a hook or a starter or a story that grabs the attention of the examiner. So it depends, it varies. Few students, they are good at this, and few, they fail to start an essay out of the fear that they might annoy the examiner. So it's okay, you need to overcome your fear. Just start with a hook, with a simple statement, and then with the passage of time you will develop the skill to make your hook or starter or your the story you want to write more interesting and eye catching for the examiner. So in introduction, first of all, hooks, then thesis. I have already discussed thesis, and I think we don't need to write it again. After that, you need to write supporting arguments, and then we have to conclude this. Conclude our introduction. After writing the introduction, we should define the terms. Uh, for example, in this essay, I would love to define that what does it mean by having a choice, and I can explain it in 2 or 3 pages, but one paragraph is sufficient enough, because if you have got so many points, again, if I have a choice, it does not mean that it has to be right. So writing more than one paragraph or 2 or 3 paragraphs here, it might not bring any good. So we will make one paragraph to define the terms, and then we will move on to body paragraphs. In body paragraphs, I have stated many points. I have explained it, keeping in mind the different perspective that you people might think. Uh, I have discussed this essay at an individual level, at international level, at a national level, and I have elaborated how you can comprehend the statement from different angles. So all those points, we can use all those points to make body paragraphs. So at least I will love to write 8 to 10 body paragraphs in this essay, and definitely I will discuss this essay at an individual level, then at a national level, and then at international level. I have got so many points, I have got so many examples to prove my body paragraphs, to prove my points. So after writing 8 to 10 body paragraphs, I will conclude this essay. We can write one more paragraph here to further elaborate that what if we don't have a choice. Yes, we can write another paragraph here after body paragraphs to add some spice in our essay. So this essay, it's very simple, but it involves thinking. The most important tool to attempt such kind of essay is thinking. Your opinion, your ability to brainstorm, and your perspective, your ideas, depth of arguments, your convincing power, how you present your argument in the essay. So it comes with practice. It's a process. It's a skill, actually. You need to acquire the skill, and you need time. You need to give time and energy to acquire the skill. This essay, it's very simple to attempt. Um, I find such kind of essays like a piece of cake. Just because you can think and you have got no limitation, and if you develop the ability to critically think and to develop your opinion, and if you trust your opinion, then the element of fear fades away, and you can attempt any essay in the examination hall. So I hope I have presented convincing arguments to support my topic, I will present or I will come up with some more essays on of UPSC, and I will definitely solve those essays for you people. Keep sharing and do remember in prayers. Thank you so much.